This episode is brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 10% off today by visiting hover.com/MrMobile.
Hi, I'm Jay Goldman, and you are watching Mr. Mobile on Butterscotch.com. Today we're going to take a look at two really interesting uses of an iPad that you may not have thought of when you bought it. Both of them involve running something on the iPad and something on another device. The first one is called Camera A, Camera B, and it resolves the most common complaint, or one of them anyway, about the iPad, which is that it has no camera. So what we're actually going to do is launch Camera A, Camera B on an iPhone. You run the Camera B part on there, and then you run the Camera A part on your iPad, and it connects over the network and uses the camera in the iPhone as though it were connected directly to this device. And you can actually take pictures from there by just tapping on the screen and then save them into the Photos app library directly on your iPad. It's a little bit finicky. This is kind of cutting edge technology. So sometimes it's a little bit of a trick to get the two of them to connect to each other. Found it's a little more successful if you launch it on the iPhone first and then launch it on the iPad. Make sure you're connected to the same wireless network. They'll identify themselves to each other, and then you'll be able to connect, and you should see live preview like you do on your iPhone when you've got the camera app open directly on your iPad. Tap on the little camera icon at the bottom to take a photo. You can zoom using the slider control, and you can toggle whether it's saved to your library using the toggle switch on the right. So there is a live preview of the what Sean can see on his iPhone as he walks around here, and he's going to hand it to me. And now you can see what I can see while we're shooting an episode. So there's Sean behind the camera, and at any point in time, if I want to take a photo, I can just tap on there. Of course, you could always just take the photo on the iPhone and then transfer it to the iPad afterwards. The second one we're going to take a look at is called iDisplay. And I really like this one because sometimes when you're sitting at your desktop and you've got your iPad with you, you're thinking to yourself, well, geez, couldn't I just use this as an external monitor? And now you can. So if you launch the iDisplay application on your iPad, they'll connect to each other again using the wireless network connection. And this will then become an external monitor on your desktop computer. And so you can actually drag windows across to it and just use it as though it were a secondary display like you would if it was actually physically connected. So if you're an iPad owner with a Mac and you want to be able to use it as a second display, take a look at iDisplay. Again, all of this stuff is kind of cutting edge. It's all really new. So it may be a little bit crashy, it may be a little bit finicky, but once you've got it up and running, you get a second display on your iPad right off of your desktop or laptop computer. I'm Jay Goldman. This has been Mr. Mobile on Butterscotch.com. Thanks for watching. And before we go, if you're looking to register a web domain, take a look at Hover.com. They've given a 10% off discount to Mr. Mobile fans. Use the code that you can see on the screen or in the show notes. See you next time.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 10% off today by visiting hover.com/MrMobile.